bottle of wine makes a great host gift, but you want your bottle to stand out from all the others the guests are bringing to the party. So joining me in the Price Chopper kitchen is wine expert Amber Craig. And Amber, we're starting out with some of your favorite forgotten varietals.
Absolutely.
It's like the land of the misfit toys, but for wine.
Yes, and it can be quite intimidating. We know that Cabernet Sauvignon is the #1 most gifted varietal.
Okay.
So we actually brought a couple options to help you think outside the box when it comes to gift giving this season. A lot of consumers reference the Wine Spectator Top 100 when they're shopping for their bottles, and there's some great options on there that get you away from Cabernet Sauvignon. The #1 wine this year was actually the Duckhorn 3 Palms Merlot. It's going to be somewhat difficult to find, so the classic Napa Valley Merlot from Duckhorn is a wonderful option to that wine for any wine lover.
What about this one?
So we get a common question about cost.
Yeah.
There's some fantastic bottles of wine on the list that are between $15 and $25.
That's very reasonable.
Absolutely. So we have Roederer Estate Brut. This is a wonderful bubble to bring to any party who doesn't love champagne around the holidays. Right. It's number 25 on the list this year, and it retails for around $24.
That's great.
Absolutely.
So these are all so far a very reasonable price point.
Very
if you're
much
going
so.
to a gift.
Very much so.
You have a white wine because white's so good and sweet, and it's just great. So
yes.
Why do you recommend this one?
So Sauvignon Blanc is a huge trend in our marketplace. This particular one is from Marlborough, New Zealand. It's called Matua, and it literally sells for about $12 a bottle, and it's fantastic.
And this is what wine lovers and connoisseurs are drinking.
Yes,
so there's no shame in getting a $12 bottle of wine.
Not whatsoever.
If the exact vintage isn't available, is the next vintage a good option?
Yes, great question. So last year, number 6 on the Wine Spectator list was Machete from Orin Swift. Now, this year, the new vintage, the 2015, is just as enjoyable as the previous vintage was.
Just as delicious.
You bet.
You also brought a gadget that you can give to the wine lover in your life. What's this?
So this is one of my favorite things that has come out in the marketplace, and it's called a Coravin system. And what it allows you to do is essentially drink a bottle of wine, a single glass at a time, without actually popping the cork.
I have tested this at Hotel Raphael.
Yes, we have a lot of restaurants that we're seeing starting to use Coravin systems because they can offer a high-end bottle of wine without actually opening an entire bottle.
Can we open it?
Yeah,
can we show people?
You bet.
It's like a needle that goes through, right? And it doesn't ruin the.
It is. So
and that's how you're able to get a fancy glass of wine without buying the whole bottle.
Yes. So it literally just attaches to the top of a bottle. And I won't actually insert it down, but you press it down in, and with a pressurized system, it allows you to essentially tap the bottle and pour a single glass of wine without pulling that cork out.
How much does this cost if you're going to splurge on someone?
So the current models are about $349.
Okay.
But you have to think you're drinking fantastic wine.
It's a splurge, and if you're getting it for someone, you're getting it for someone who
it's super cool.
Drinks fancy stuff.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Cool.
Finally, equally as awesome, you brought an alternative if you're going to a place where you know that the person you're visiting, the host, doesn't like wine.
Yeah. So
and this is just great.
Bourbon is a huge trend in the market. And at this time of year, those people that are bourbon fans know that a bunch of really cool bourbons get released into the market, but they're very difficult to find. So I actually brought one today that is super cool, that is going to be a little bit more readily available to those people that are wanting to buy some bourbon.
And
so this is Wild Turkey Master's Keep. This is a hand-selected project from master distiller Eddie Russell, and its average age is 17 years.
How much is it?
It's about, I think, 120 to 150 in the marketplace.
Wild Turkey, Master's Keep.
Yes.
Can you just get a bottle of bourbon anywhere and give it, and that's just as cool? People think you're cool because you're bringing the bourbon?
Absolutely.
What's a good cheap bourbon?
A great inexpensive bourbon, you can go to Buffalo Trace. I also feel like just the classic Wild Turkey rye is a wonderful option because ryes are trending in the market.
And the appropriate term is inexpensive or reasonable, not cheap.
Correct.
Right? So don't call it cheap, but you get what I'm saying if you're just sitting at home watching this on your couch. Wine and bourbon expert Amber Craig, thank you for being here.